So I just want to talk about the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus today. I have the original Retorid Pocket 2. I got it in July and I love it. This thing. This is my go-to portable. Other than my I have like oh my. You might see this a lot this video that my webcam is laggy. Let me fix that. So even though I have these portable emulator, like these gaming watches, I want to go through the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus and tell you about this device. I think it's a like a must buy, or because of what it can do, and you'll see what it can do in a minute. So I'm loading this up on Google. Okay, so I want to show you the performance on this, and it's insane. If you can see from the title, it says GameCube. So
this is the moment that a lot of people.
Also, this is YouTuber Taki Udon. He's the one that I found out about the 2 Plus, and it made me want to buy the Retorid Pocket when I get the Retorid Pocket 2 because of his review. And now it's doing it again. So let me go over the consoles it can play. It can play NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Master System, Genesis, PlayStation 1, DS, Atari, N64, PSP, Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, and GameCube. I feel like I missed something. Oh, Sega Saturn. I forgot about Sega Saturn and 3DS. But it doesn't play 3DS perfectly.
We've been waiting for.
See.
Let's look at the emulation performance of the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus with our added processor.
So
for this, I'm going to try and show a broad range of what this can do. I've dedicated extended plays for many of these games on my second channel that you can watch if you want to see more.
So, look, Super Mario RPG. That one's good. So if you want to play Mario RPG, you're gonna go.
This is a very accurate emulation core that would never be possible on the original device. On the
it plays Yoshi's Island
good. To the 2002 and 2005 cores. Anything higher than that
what I
would be
use
hit or
for
miss. For those that want the best emulators possible, this is a big improvement.
Yes, it is.
Next, let's look at GBA emulation. Again, this was possible on the original device, but we needed to use a specific outdated.
The only downside I had to the Retorid Pocket 2 is like a couple of Game Boy Advance
we want, and the
games were
performance is
unplayable. Like, and it looks like it can run all those games perfectly. Oh, my webcam. Yeah, you can see Battle from Bikini Bottom running good on the device. You can see Battle from Bikini Bottom.
Ran well on the original device, but not having a touchscreen was a bit annoying at times.
Yeah,
After remapping a button to swap the screens on the fly, it's now much easier to enjoy DS games.
Yeah, the only problem I had was there was no touchscreen and a couple of Game Boy Advance games. I like the D-pad, I like the buttons. These are conductive rubber.
Dreamcast is the first big performance improvement on this device, thanks to our new processor. With our added power, we have several options available to us, including the Redream emulator. This gives us access to a no-fuss option for those that do not want to touch settings, as well as Flycast for those that like a little more control over their emulation.
That's another problem with Sega Dreamcast games. Didn't run good at all. So, I'm glad that Dreamcast, because I could play Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 good. Like, they were laggy. If I get this device, I'll compare both Retorid Pocket 2 Plus and the original Retorid Pocket 2. So, Next is N64.
N64 also got a massive performance boost on this new device. Now we have access to great performance in Mupen FZ, as well as several good RetroArch cores that are easy to use and run well.
So the problem with N64 that you had to change the profiles, different settings to make N64 games run good. So now I can finally play Mario 64 and like mods of Mario 64, like fan game of Mario 64 on the go. And as you see, it can play GoldenEye 007. I think that's the hardest N64 game to run. I don't play shooters. And it can play Conker's Bad Fur Day. Probably the hardest game to run on N64. And Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Yeah, Rogue Squadron. Those three are the hardest N64 games to emulate. And they all went perfectly. So if you love N64, this is a must-buy.
Sega Saturn emulation does not get the attention that it deserves, and this system was entirely unplayable on the original RP2 due to the weak processor. Now, we have access to a modern build of the Saturn emulator, and its performance is very good.
Guys, I can do it. I can finally play Sonic R on the go now. I can play Sonic R on the go. This Dragoon.
While
now,
our aspect ratio is not ideal
ran
for PSP,
okay on the Retorid Pocket 2.
Performance is very good on this device.
The only game I played was Mega Man games and Kingdom Hearts.
Optimistic about performance
Kingdom Hearts didn't win
post-launch
good,
and tend to judge
Mega
products
Man,
as they are when they ship.
Really good.
That is a little different in the case of the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus. I have a tablet with this exact processor running on Android 11, and it can run many games better than this Android 9 firmware, especially when we get to very demanding games like God of War. So far, this seems to be the only system that has this ability for a performance increase. If you watch
PlayStation
my
2,
video on
baby,
running on Android handhelds, then you've already seen this device running some PS2 games. In this section, I'm going to show more games that run well on this chip.
PlayStation 2
was never
at the end of the video, I'll show you more PS2 games
more than anything else.
running on the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus. Because he made a video like a couple weeks ago on PS2 emulation on Android devices.
You're more handsome in person than in your photo.
Persona 4.
Welcome to Eva.
My friend Lucas hates Persona 4. Now we can play on the go. I don't play RPGs, but I think it would be like a funny joke to have Persona 4 running on a portable. Since Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is coming on the Switch. How you can see, if you want some PlayStation 2 performance, this will be good for you. I don't know if it will be improved during 2022, but it might be.
3DS can technically run on the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus, but performance is not that special. More than anything, it's just cool to see a game running on this device.
Yeah, you can play Ocarina of Time 3D. It does lag in loading zones, I think. Yeah. If I could play Mario 3D Land on there, New Super Mario Bros. 2, those are the two games. If it could play Chibi Robo Zip Flash.
That leads us with our final and most requested section, Nintendo GameCube.
I even
commented because it's too annoying to play on this device.
And he said yes.
When we're talking about GameCube, I've tested 178 games. Of the games that I've tested, 121 of them run well and can be considered to be highly playable. Again, this was never supposed to be the case when this product originally started out, but the Dolphin emulator and an unofficial build improved enough for this processor to be able to enjoy some NGC games. I'll talk more about GameCube emulation in a follow-up guide.
Thank you. Look, Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. Good thing that's not PS1 Hagrid. So yeah, Harry Potter, that's Sorcerer's Stone? So yeah, it was like GameCube one's that good. So if you want, if I get this, if you guys want to see if a GameCube game is playable, you can see like Cowl the Kangaroo Round 2. I don't know what that game is. I only know of like the first part. We got like Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, it can play like games like Luigi's Mansion. But I'm trying to think of what button should I map to like. I might do select as Z, and then have like the sticks as like 2 pluses. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like if I can configure the. Because the Z button's not really used that much in games. Most are for like menus of like GameCube games I played. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. People say the best RPG. I might play Thousand. And apparently you can play Wii. So maybe I can try Mario Galaxy, or at least New Super Mario Brothers. But Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door runs perfectly fine. Oh, Pokemon Coliseum. So if you want to play like anything from the Game Boy to GameCube Pokemon games, I think you'll have a cam. Sorry for the webcam problem I'm having here. But GameCube GameCube performance, it looks like it runs good. So I feel like you can play about like if you want to play Scooby-Doo before the Scoop's prequel comes out, then yeah, you can play it. Soul Calibur 2. So I wonder if Smash, how good Smash will run. Oh, the Spyro game we don't talk about, Enter the Dragonfly. That one is good. So you can play Spyro 1 for 4. I'm surprised I found a new Spyro there. Like Spyro the Dragon 4 or something. I wonder how good Smash Bros. Melee will run. Oh, the last Nintendo published Rare game. I don't know why I thought Rare was the guys that made Lego, because their logo looks similar to Warner Brothers, or the people who makes Legos. So here's The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Yeah, and you can see it runs good. Wait, what? It started playing. It is a little bit laggy, but it's playable. I haven't played Twilight Princess yet, so I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to finally play it. Eventually. Okay, I want to talk about the specs. So,
subscriber. More information on that later. Let's start off with some specs. The Retorid Pocket 2 Plus.
So the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus has a CPU Android T310 CPU, 1X Cortex A75 at 2.0 GHz, 3X Cortex A55 at 3.8 GPU. GPU is GE830 at 300. Well, I'll just let Taki do it.
Comes with a Unisoc T13 CPU with one Cortex A75 core clocked at 2 GHz and 3 Cortex A55 cores clocked at 1.8 GHz. We have a GE 8300 GPU clocked at 800 MHz, 2 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, 32 GB of eMMC 5.1 storage with support for an additional 1 TB of SD card storage, a 4000 mAh battery, and a 3.5-inch touchscreen IPS display with a resolution of 640 by 480. For connectivity, we have 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi, as well as Bluetooth 5.0. All of this runs on Android 9.
I heard it's compatible with Android 10 to 12, so I'm excited for that. This might be the best handheld for under $100. Or if you're on a budget, if you have like, say, $100 budget to get a game console, get the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus. You can play anything. Come on, add.
Season 12 brings the new to your music with brand new high-resolution graphics in the rack.
Finally, we have the Retorid
So
Pocket
here's
2
PS2
Plus.
on the Retorid Pocket 2
This device
Plus.
uses a single A75 core, which is putting in a lot of work to get the performance that you see here. With games like Final Fantasy X running as well as they do here, it is a real testament to the power of this emulator.
So this is Final Fantasy X again. And you can see how good it was, but here's Crash Laugh Cortex, which is basically Crash 4 in another universe, multiversal reality. Here's Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone.
Over here, Mr. Potter.
Which, if I'm playing Sorcerer's Stone, I might play the GameCube version, because it works better. But I'll play either version. And then the game I'm gonna always play on PlayStation 2, Kingdom Hearts 1. It runs so good. It looks like it's made for this console, for this portable. It looks like it's made for the thing. Like if there was, yeah, you can see. It looks so good. I showed this to my friends and they wanted to. It looks good. It looks so good. So yeah, there's Chain of Memories and it's my webcam. Sorry about this. What is going on with my webcam today? I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm taking my webcam out. If you want to see more on the Retorid Pocket, if you want to see the performance yourself and stuff for the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus, I recommend swing this. I recommend the YouTuber Taki Udon. He's a great YouTuber for talking about portable emulator devices. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description. Or and videos on the Retorid Pocket 2 Plus. I just love like seeing like GameCube games. Like there's also another device called the RG552
Go beyond subscribe.
Also plays GameCube,
to help your favorite creator
but I feel like it plays
Hello,
GameCube a
everyone,
bit
Taki.
better. The Retorid Pocket 2 Plus. Like here's so. Like it plays Wind Waker good. But we'll get to that another time, like if RG devices have like that. If you want to see performance, look at Taki Udon and Taki 2, his second channel, because he talks about behind the scenes and performance on specific GameCube games like The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Which this is how it runs. Which runs really good. And Sonic Adventure 2. So, yeah, this is a game changer for, the portable emulation scene right now. Honestly, if you want to play GameCube games on the go, this is a great option. Like,
with some tweak GameCube emulation. I mean, just checking out the specs on the CPU, I knew we'd have a hard time with a lot of GameCube is actually MMJR2. It does seem to perform much better on, and throughout all of my tests, I noticed that I'm really getting better performance with OpenGL. So test emulation, whether you play it using the Lupin 64 Plus like you're seeing on screen now, we have plenty compatible with it. It's going to give us this smaller Light and Steam Link that, but this is fully playable on the Retorid Pocket 2
yeah,
Plus.
play Minecraft.
Installed, so we have a really nice little front end built in.
I want to check.
It's just a hassle-free way of launching your favorite retro games, and it'll.
Again, if you want to get great performance on an emulator, this is probably the option for you. If you want to play stuff like Wind Waker, stuff like that. I'll also leave a link for where you could buy it in the description. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.